Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to St. Edward's in City Skylines 2. I am very excited to be playing again today. I've been up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed as I had to get up at 5 a.m. this morning to take my mum to the airport, which had me thinking actually about the game and about my transport, and I realised that we have nothing so far. We have no taxi rank, we have no buses, we have no train stations, let alone an airport. So, what I might do for the first half of this episode is start whack-a-moling some of these issues. We have a burned down property here, we have high rent issues, but the biggest one of all is the lack of labour. So I imagine after having a look as to whether this is a population issue, which I imagine it is if we look at our demand, or whether it's an education issue, we will then go to start development on some new builds, which I imagine I might just use over here. However, with that comes considering infrastructure and maybe increasing some of the quality of these roads too. So without further ado, let's have a look in as to why this lack of labour is happening. Okay, so it's about quantity. The company can't find enough employees, not that they're uneducated. Uneducated. Okay, so we do need some uneducated. A lot of uneducated. Mostly uneducated. Okay, so that answers my easy question then. So yeah, let's use this road that's been penciled in here, and let's make a slightly smaller community here. That's, or maybe we should push it up to here, just so it's within easy commuting distance to this area, maybe even pedestrian distance as well. So let's see if we can't get started with this. First thing I'm going to do is just upgrade these roads and do the road layout, so I'll see you after that. Okay, so we want the area here to be fairly non-inspired. Was my inspiration really. I wanted the road layout to be quite thin and long and boring, no interesting shapes, but still obviously quite connected to this area over here. And I think I've managed to achieve just that as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some row homes in and maybe some low residential around the edge as well. Maybe put a park or two in, but no schools or anything like that, and then hopefully that should feed our nearby district. Industry district, that is. Interesting. What have I knocked out here by accident? Let's have a look. Power station overload. This power station cannot produce enough electricity to match current demand. Okay. Well, actually, now I think about it, we almost have 3 million in the bank. So I think it's about time we put in our power here, actually. Our coal power plant is way, way, way too big to be put on the edge here. I could do it, but I'd be using anarchy and going out of bounds, and I don't know how troublesome that is. So let me just create a network to put it on the back here. And there we go. Up and running. One thing we do need to keep track of here is our money though, as I imagine if we have a look at this production, so yes, our coal import has absolutely skyrocketed now. So I'm thinking, how is our... Let me just check the map for coal as a resource. And we need to figure out if we need to just forever include this in our budget or whether we can actually make something cool here. So if we look at turn off oil, turn off land fertility, turn off wood, all we're looking for is ore deposits. Okay, and it looks like all of our ore deposits are in these hills on pretty much the opposite corner of the map, quite far away. What I could do as part of introducing the rail network, I could link up and have a freight train go through. That could be quite cool. Let's also have a look here. Are these all taxis? Wow, wow, wow. Okay. I think a small medical clinic should be more than enough, and it should also provide coverage for the facilities here as well. This is quite close here. I actually think this spot here is actually quite nice. If I put it against this road here, can I not clip it in by one? That's fine. We'll just do that then. That is absolutely a-okay. I'm sure more services will pop up that I've not managed to think about. That's okay. We'll deal with them as they come. As they come, as they come. Oh, no, 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 no. Let's get rid of that and get rid of that. I think these were... There we go, that's perfect. And in fact, I am going to keep these mid-residential houses being built, as I think that does fill in the gaps. And I don't think this would be a very pretty area, if I'm being honest with you. This is a very working class kind of neighborhood. I mean, they've got a high street. What are these? Are these restaurants? Convenience food. Oh, that's a convenience store. Farmer. Drinks. That's like one of those liquor stores. Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, interesting. And this one is burned down. Does this ever get replaced? Let me see if the other one got rebuilt. Looks like it did, because I can't see the Moodle for it, so that's great. And honestly, I am so happy to look back at the main area of St. Edward's and see that there are very, very few negative Moodles popping up, apart from the lack of labor, which is absolutely fine. I think another part of my development project is that this land right here between the gated community, the school, residential 1 and 2, and the farms, this is prime development area. So I think I might spend some time also putting in some more cul-de-sacs up here, just to increase our population. Like we have a pretty wacky road layout here, which is quite fun. One thing I am going to do is see if I can't make it even stranger and run a road around the back of these, hopefully, without actually demolishing any houses there. That's great. I don't like how this looks. I'm going to make this a T-junction, as I think that's a lot safer. And then I think we're going to make this a small actual roundabout and not a cul-de-sac, which will be quite nice if we put a tree in there as well. Make it quite nice and homely. Okay, so first thing I want to point out is that I used the slightly bigger roundabouts here with the foliage in, and it actually looks a lot nicer as there's a whole centerpiece with bushes, shrubs and trees and the rest of it, as opposed to these which are just one tree small roundabouts. So I'm think these may be able to have more houses on. Okay, so it looks like the only difference on these slightly bigger roundabouts is that the houses on the side are 3 wide, not 2. Which is fun. I think that's cool. Now, let's go ahead and fill this all in. Okay, and the reason you're seeing all of these condemned icons popping up is because on the back houses here, on the very outside ones, I used the low density EU waterfront housing, as I think those houses can look a lot nicer in builds that I've seen other people do. So I'm taking some inspiration from that, kind of using it a bit myself here. But one thing I also want to consider is where these mansions are going to be placed. Ooh. Is that a lighting glitch? What is that? Looks like electric coming down. Okay, interesting. It's probably just the moon reflection, although there's no moon that I can see, but that's okay. With these extra houses here, it looks like the demand for work here is already going down. There's only one farm still left to have laborers, which I think is soon to be filled. And then if we look over here, wow, looks like these row homes were not even close to being enough. Maybe we should make just a huge expansion. I don't want to make a huge expansion here for one reason alone, and that is because our infrastructure here just can't support it currently. Huh, interesting. I'm going to try and make a unique junction here. So what I want to do is I want to have an overpass, and then I also want to have a slip road leading to a roundabout at the back, and then to go through. I think this could look really interesting and unique if I pull it off, the way that I am envisioning it in my mind. So let's see if we can't do exactly that and make something quite interesting here. Okay, so is it ugly? Yes. Is it realistic? Kind of. Am I happy with it? Not really either. Are we going to keep it and move on? Yes. I think one thing I might end up doing, if I can figure out how to push these big field surfaces back, rather than just having to delete them, I think I'll do that in the future, as I think it would be a lot better if we had merging lanes and stuff like that on either side here. I think that would make this work a lot smoother. However, for the time being, I think it's doing mostly what we want it to be doing, which I think is great. One thing I'm not super happy with is that we've now got this public path right next to the motorway. However, I don't want to get rid of it because people are using it. Okay, so we have done a lot of expansion here. I think the last couple of things that I want to do for today's episode. Oh, what's going on here? There's been a crash and a fire. Deary me. There's been a gargantuan crash. There's a van involved. What's this guy doing? Where even is he? A trailer. So a van, a trailer, an RV, and 2 other vehicles which are also gone. And the ambulance, this guy, who's this? That's horrible. When you click on them, they whimper. Oh my god, he's injured and he's waiting for an ambulance. You telling me he was flung so far out of his car he landed 300 foot off the motorway? You'd be dead, mate. I'd be no coming back from that. Just, you know, I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer about it, but we are going to put in the... What the hell am I on about? Communications tab. We have not touched on this either. In fact, I think we're going to come to that next episode, you know. I think what we're going to do this episode is continue with our expansion, and we're going to put down some of our special buildings now. First things first, I think we need Vertigo Square to be up here somewhere. I think that makes the most sense. Change of plan, Vertigo Square is going to live over in the new town instead. And I want it near many amenities, and I think just if it fits in here, I think this will be perfect. There we go. Yes, it does. A very cool bougie apartment complex, or block of flats as it were, just overlooking the skate park. I think that's very nice. What else have we got here? Corundum condos. Now this boosts 4 well-being within 1 kilometer. This is very nice, very luxury. I'm thinking that this actually goes over here for when we eventually start developing the new place. I already know that I want this road here to be lined with some very interesting and cool buildings, so I'll just pop that there, and we unlock milestone 10. Hey, we got the high density offices and we got more of the policies. That is great. That is great. Let's just have a look to see how this looks against. I need to add some lights in here for definite, I think, actually. But we'll come back to that if we have a look at our next one. We've got a theatre, actor, mansion, and a pop musician. I think we're going to take the gravel roadway. We're going to put it on continuous. We're going to wind this all the way back up here. And we're going to wind it all the way up here. And we're actually going to sneak it in the back here. Well, that is really not what I wanted to happen. Let me just fix this up really quickly. I think that's fine. And then up here we can have a kind of tucked away, very nice location for the mansions. I'm going to have one gravel road go up slightly to the right here. Keep it straight actually, like so. And what are the sizes here? They are both quite small actually. So the theatre actor mansion is going to go on Glade Lane. And you know what? I'm also going to put the pop musician mansion there as well. And if we have a look at these, this is really cool. Very nice. Very nice. Got horses in the back garden. Very lovely. And this one looks a lot more modern with its jacuzzi and everything, a pagoda, very modern architecture. Quite brutalist from this angle, but that's okay. That looks very cool, very nice, okay. What else have we got to place? Because I know I've unlocked an industry one. we have the dairy house. This is a fairly big building, and it boosts industry efficiency and export profits citywide, which is actually very, very nice. I'm seeing a lovely little location here for it, to be honest. I think this is one of those assets where I'm going to place it down first. Potentially even just knock it on the side here, I think is fine. And one thing I am going to do for this asset in particular is just take a road snapped here. There we go. Take a road just round the back like that, and then I'm just going to have very, very, very small just 2x2s all the way around this. Okay, now these small little buildings aren't exactly what I was looking for. Aha, here we go. This is exactly what I wanted. This is perfect. Put one there. Okay, I need to make sure that I'm zoning ploppable things down. Okay, that's noted. But I think this looks absolutely great now. We've added three huge silos, 2 small outbuildings, and also 2 storage bays as well, which I think makes this look a lot nicer. One thing I might do as well off camera is go through and add these kind of small ploppable assets of the storages just all across the farms, just to make it that little bit more full. However, in the meantime, that is everything for today. Thank you so much for joining us. We have added so much today, and again, if you have any ideas for place names and stuff like that, feel free to leave them in the comments or on the Discord. Link to the Discord below, and yeah, I'll be super excited to keep watching this place develop. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.